So today in this video we'll be looking to the another topic called GlideRecordSecure. So as you have seen in the last tutorials, couple of tutorials, we were discussing about the GlideRecord. But I got few comments from the subscribers that what is GlideRecordSecure, and most of the people have a myth about this, that GlideRecordSecure is quite something which is really difficult to understand. Okay, so to get this misconception aside, I've created this tutorial. Okay, so what is GlideRecordSecure? Let's understand what is GlideRecordSecure. So GlideRecordSecure is nothing but a GlideRecord itself. Yes, I'm not lying to you. It's basically GlideRecord itself. Okay, so GlideRecordSecure is a class that inherited from GlideRecord. So we can say it's a child class which have extended the script include of the GlideRecord. Okay, and as you can see over here, it performs the same functions as a GlideRecord. What is the difference between these two then? It enforces the ACL. So let's try to understand it. So basically when we are writing a GlideRecord, so through GlideRecord we can perform all kind of code operation, right? Create, update, delete. We can also read the records. Okay, but whether I am having the access on the table or not, how we will verify that, right? Because that particular function will be common to all. Okay, so suppose I'm a user, I'm an admin, or I'm a script editor. Okay, I have an access, I've written some business rules, some scripts to read some data, right? And I don't have the access, I don't have the security constraint to read that data, but GlideRecord will not verify it. So what GlideRecordSecure does, it checks based on the session of the user, okay, who has logged in, that whether this logged in user, the current user, has an access to write to this record, whether this user has an access to read this record or not. If he is not having that write and read access, then he will be like, shh, get away from this table, right? I will not display you the record which you don't have access to. Okay, so GlideRecordSecure acts in terms of security, you can say. So now the next question arises. Okay, what if I have a record, I have a ACL defined on a record, and uh, I have an access on that particular record, but I don't have an access on certain fields on that record, right? It may happen if we write at the field level ACL on that record, then we can the visible restrict the access of few fields on that record. Then in that case, what happens? On if a person, if a user don't have an access to write on certain field, then those fields are set to null while writing to the database. Okay, so the values will not differ for those fields if you don't have the access. Okay, and the canCreate ACL on the column is replaced with the canWrite. So it will be like, do you have the right to update that particular record? If yes, then only it will execute it. If no, it will return false. Okay, and the column will set to null. Okay, nothing will get changed. Okay, now moving, checking for null values. If an element cannot be read because of ACL restrict, a null value is created in the memory for the record. Okay, so it's the same thing which I explained right now, right? So what value it adds, right? So basically if we try to write a script, okay, now basically if I want to write a script to read something from a table, right? For example, let's take incident table. So what I will do, basically, let's move to the script tag and let's try to understand and collaborate with what you have learned in the past. So basic steps. Okay, so what we will do, we will first to GlideRecord, sorry, incident equal to new GlideRecord. Okay, we'll simply go to the incident table, right? And then we will write blah 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 certain queries. Okay, it may be any query, so I will give an encoded query. It may be anything. I will give some stupid values. Okay, it may be anything, any query condition. Then what I will do, gr incident dot query. Okay, if it has an X record, or I will use while. Okay, let's take a while. Okay, while incident dot next. Now what we'll do? Okay, now we will iterate through each record, right? Okay, and simply I want to put gs dot info. Okay, I want to just read short description, for example. Okay, short this description. Okay, I will give, and it will be plus incident dot. I think you are aware about the description. Okay, this is how this is how we write the code. This is how we read through the table, right? Now this particular code, if I'm having this code, right? So using this code, a person, if I write this code on some business rule to retrieve some data and to display on the screen, then if a person have admin role, he will be able to access that data. If a person is having ITL role, then he will be able to read the data if I'm keep showing it somewhere to that particular role. If a person don't have any access, right? Do not have any access for him on the table, he can also retrieve the data from this table. Okay, so for that, now how we'll manage it in this particular thing, right? So what we will do, we will write, we have to add the restriction, right? So we can write if not gr incident dot can write. Okay, if if it returns false, okay, that he can't write. Okay, and if it's or if a user, I'm using negation, okay, that means it's not. Okay, so if a user it's not having access on CR, I will take it again, and if a user don't have access, instead of can write will be can read something or can delete anything. Then if he don't have any access, then we will simply return nothing. Okay, right? Else will it's means we will not print anything over here. Okay, it will be simply nothing, doing nothing over here. Else we will be printing this statement. Now, don't you think it's complicated to always measure this thing, that whether the user has an access to write, to read, to delete based on the operation which you want to perform? Okay, when we have already defined this condition on the table through ACLs, right? Through ACL, we always define who can read the table data, who can write the table data, who can create on the table, who can delete on the table. So when we have the ACL, this is really required to write this thing again and again in the script. The answer is no. Okay, so how to manage this thing? Now what we can do, we can change this out. Okay, just see the difference. This is what GlideSecure is doing right now. Okay, what we have done right now over here. But we don't have to specify this if condition over here. So what we can do when we are using GlideSecure, right? Okay, so we can simply write, for example, can write GlideRecord we just have to, instead of using GlideRecord, we have to use GlideSecure. Okay, let's see what is the difference between that. Okay, so I will open the API for the same. Okay, sorry, why it's opening like this? Seriously. Okay, so I don't know why it's redirecting to GlideAggregate. Okay, okay, so GlideSecure, then let it be. I will explain you over here. Okay, so instead of, then we can define the query like we have been, like grs dot and encoded query, again something. Okay, then we'll do it's same like what we are doing for normal flow, right? Normal glide record. Then share.query. We have just changed glide record to GlideRecord secure. But now what happens? We can simply write while gr.next. Okay, grs.next. Okay, and then we can do whatever we want to do, like gs.info, short description. So as we have replaced this GlideRecord secure, now we don't have to verify these things out, whether the particular user has write, read, delete any access before performing the operation. It will look into the what it will do. It will query it out. It will form the encoded query. It will query to the database. It will check whether the logged in user has an access to perform this action. If yes, then it will return true and everything is fine. Okay, it will just behave like a glide record. If a user don't have the access, then it will lock it out. Okay, and it will not display that record itself, or it will not allow you to perform any actions to that particular record or to that particular table. That's how, that is the simple difference between GlideRecord and GlideRecord secure. People are so scared of GlideRecord secure, and as it's evaluate the ACLs, right? So whenever we write a generic method or whenever we write a method in script include, it's always recommend that we should use GlideRecord secure so that the unauthenticated user cannot perform any action on the database on which he is not having the access. Okay. So for this tutorial, I think it's pretty much clear what the GlideRecord secure is. Okay. In the next tutorial, we'll come up with some new topics on ServiceNow. Till then, see you, goodbye, like, follow, subscribe, and stay with us for new updates. Thank you.